Hello again, watch friends. Welcome back. Here are a few more watch-related things that annoy me. Maybe they annoy you as well, or maybe you have other annoyances. There's more than enough things about mechanical watches to enjoy from a variety of perspectives, so these bugaboos might seem minor. But they are things I observed about my own likes and dislikes, or about what I've seen in the watch industry and in watch enthusiast groups. In my previous video on watch-related things that annoy me, I mentioned that I dislike small date windows on watch dials. I know that the presence or lack thereof of a date is a matter of debate and is often polarizing. Some people like it since it provides useful information. Others despise it as an unnecessary detail that often breaks up the symmetry of the dial. And sometimes it looks as if the designer just added the date as an afterthought. Well, my opinion has evolved, I think. Take, for example, the Favre-Luba Sea Sky chronograph. The more I look at the dial, the more I think that, although the date window is teeny, it's not annoying, and perhaps actually desirable. To me, and your view may differ, the teeny date window is so unobtrusive as to almost not even exist. It clearly doesn't ruin the dial aesthetic, and because it's tucked away at 4 o'clock, it's hardly noticeable. And best of all, if you need to know the date, well, there it is. I believe that watch collecting is a journey. Part of that journey is the knowledge you gain from doing research or just simply being exposed to watches at all levels of the price and model spectrums. Further, part of that journey is that sometimes your views evolve. That's called learning. And it behooves all of us collectors and enthusiasts to not be so rigid as to not occasionally rethink our preferences and opinions. Okay, this may be a minor annoyance, but I really prefer watch movements to fit the case. If the case is round, a round movement makes sense. If the case is square or rectangular, then the movement should conform to the case design. It seems incongruent to me when there is no harmony between the movement shape and the case shape. I have examples of both in my collection. One watch where the movement is appropriate for the case is the Parmigiani Hebdomadaire. The Hebdo has a tonneau-style case, and the hand-wound caliber PF110 has proper dimensions relative to the case. This watch is one of my favorites in the collection, and the 8-day power and excellent finishing of the movement only add to my pleasure of owning and wearing this watch. Another tonneau-style watch I own is the lovely Maurice Lacroix Masterpiece MP7009. This ML126 La Joux-Perret movement not only fits the case correctly, but the caliber 736 movement, designed by Jean-Pierre Jacquet, is simply stunning. Again, the measurements of the movement fit the case dimensions. It would look quite odd, I think, for a circular movement in this Maurice Lacroix masterpiece. Segueing on the odd theme, here's an example where the movement shape does not fit the case shape. It's my Parmigiani Kalpa, an otherwise charming little watch that I really like, that has a round movement in a rectangular case. Granted, the finishing is top level, but the disharmony sometimes takes me back. One thing I've noticed, though, is perhaps due to my familiarity and year-long ownership of this piece, is that the striking gold rotor distracts from the shape of the movement. That beautiful rotor, with a guilloche pattern and Parmigiani logo, is a joy to view and makes me often not even notice the movement shape. I know I'm going to take a little heat for this one, but when a watch brand relies on a market strategy of artificial scarcity to drive demand, well, it just bugs me. I'm looking at you, Rolex. It's basic economic theory that when supply diminishes, demand increases, and vice versa. Now, I don't have any specific documentation that Rolex has decided on this strategy. I have no secret memo or covert recording of the bigwigs at Rolex plotting to take advantage of Rolex customers and would-be customers, but it seems pretty obvious. I've read many accounts from watch enthusiasts Rolex owners, and even dealers that say Rolex is holding back the availability of certain models, especially some of the stainless steel ones. Rolex makes about 1.4 million watches per year. No one really knows the exact amount because Rolex doesn't release that kind of information. One would think they could make a few more to satisfy demand. I've read potential Rolex buyers and repeat buyers waiting up to a year or more for a particular reference. Whether it's Rolex or any other brand, I consider this taking advantage of the customers. I can understand that if a watch is marketed as a special edition or limited production, then naturally the supply would be limited. But using this marketing strategy for standard production models, well, something is rotten in Geneva. Here's a bugaboo that crosses all watch brands and even all levels of the price spectrum. One brand zealots. How many times have you been visiting a website or a group page and read someone's post saying that any other watch than X, insert watch brand here, is crap? I think that this type of behavior is an example of ignorance. I don't mean ignorance in a negative way, although I think these negative comments are rude and unwelcome. I mean, as the dictionary defines it, the condition of being uneducated, unaware, or uninformed. As I've said earlier and many other times, I think watch collecting is a journey. Part of that journey is educating yourself about the history of horology, the plethora of available watch brands, and the workings of a mechanical watch. In addition, as you continue on your journey, you come to know what appeals to you and what doesn't. You don't have to like the same watches I do, and I don't have to like the watches that you like. Sharing your knowledge and preferences is all part of the journey, and it's part of the fun of being a watch enthusiast or a watch collector. Personally, I've always enjoyed learning about things, all kinds of things, and watches are no different. So, if you don't like a particular watch, just swipe left. Or if you feel you must make a comment, say specifically what you do or don't like about that particular watch. I think this is changing a bit, but all too often watch brands offer minimal warranties on their watches. Warranties that are too short, in my opinion. The standard seems to be about 2-year warranties, and sometimes even as short as 1 year. When I see that, I immediately think that the brand is not confident of the quality and reliability of their product so as to stand behind them. We all know watches can last for decades upon decades, sometimes even without servicing. Of course, never servicing a watch is just asking for trouble, since it's a matter of when, not if, the movement will cease keeping good time. One positive example in the last couple of years is Rolex. As of 2017, I think, Rolex announced that all of their watches will have a 5-year warranty going forward. A Rolex watch is a robust, high-quality instrument that should last many times that. Rolex also said at the same time that they recommend a 10-year service interval. That is, a new Rolex watch should be serviced minimally every 10 years. With a warranty and service recommendation as such, Rolex has solidly put the Rolex brand behind their products. I wish more brands would do that. There's no reason not to, other than to maximize the profit that the brand is trying to achieve at the cost of their customers. Good for you, Rolex. And actually, Rolex seems to have started a trend. Omega, Jaeger-LeCoultre, and some other brands have upped their warranty to 5 years. That's it for this time. Some watch things that bug me. Share what bugs you in the comments below. These mechanical watches are miniature marvels, tiny machines, if you will. And at least to me, that's part of the appeal. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your watch friends, and subscribe, if you already haven't, so as to be alerted of new content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.